Hello. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Cad's Football Talks. We got some interesting stuff coming up. We got injury boosts, which we've got Martinez and Mazraoui looking to be coming back in. I don't think Martinez is going to be looking around the Liverpool game. I think he's going to be a little while longer yet, especially getting up to match fitness, even if he is training with the first team. But yeah, so Mazraoui I think is looking to come back soon as well, which is exciting. Obviously, maybe straight after the international break. I don't know if you'll chuck him into the Liverpool game. We'll get into that one. What else we want to talk about tonight? Oh yes, so I want to have this conversation now. You know, a lot of these channels are talking about the manager. A lot of these pundits, a lot of it, and we can make a video talking about the manager. Back him or sack him, but which I'll let you know my opinions on that video. But for me, I want to talk about whether we should have sold Bruno. And what your guys' opinion is of that. I mean, for me personally, I think that it's a double-edged sword because, on the one hand, you might say, yeah, we should have sold Bruno because he doesn't fit in the system. And then, on the other hand, he's also, Kobe Mainoo's not being played. And then you might be like, well, if a different manager come in and put Bruno as a cam and Mainoo and Casemiro together in the midfield, then, with the midfield 3 triangle, then maybe it would be sweet and rosy. But I do think if you're going to, as United fans, we are known, we do back the managers, it's, even Ruben Amorim with the results and previous managers before, you'll hear them singing in the Stretford End, because that's the job of the fans, to back the manager. And, Man United fans do like to think of ourselves as a family and committed to the club and the cause. So, we like to back the manager, and you won't hear us like booing any managers. So, despite the results, which I'm sure many of us are like sometimes a bit like, oh, I don't know, mate. I don't know if this guy's doing it. I don't know if there's 2 in midfield is really cutting it for us. You know what I mean? But yeah. So aside from the manager, I think that like for me the conversation with Bruno is, and I don't want to know your opinions, guys. Well, should we have taken the 90 mil? Because I think at this point as well, you're seeing, although Bruno's a fantastic player and has done so much for us, you do start to look at it, the midfield, like we're 7 games in, aren't we? And you're starting to look at that midfield and think you really need a reliable ball-playing, defending CDM, don't you? Who can really hold that ball up and just is, so selfless and is just about progressing that ball slightly higher up the pitch and finding the forwards, Mbumo, Kuna or Mount. I did watch, because Bruno has to come so deep to bring that ball up. Now we can talk about whether that's a system issue, formation issue, whatever else. But, I kind of quite liked the game against Sunderland. You kind of felt like we were kind of doing a 5-4-1, or it was kind of merging into like a 4-4-2 at times, where you'd kind of have Mount and Mbumo kind of looking like the 2, almost like Sesko would drop down in that deep 10 role and get into midfield, or it'd be Sesko and Mbumo, and then Mount would come back around and switch and kind of fill into the other pocket. It was kind of quite rotational. I mean, I feel like the system's quite complex really when you start seeing it. When you start seeing how it presses to how it defends, and you can kind of look at it and go, actually, to be fair, if it does start to work, you might really see some exciting football. And this is what us fans have been talking about. We didn't just want a David Moyes or a Sean Dyche who was going to keep us in a 4-4-2. And I think a lot of us fans, myself included, get a bit hung up on the fact that, we just want results because we're in so much pain and we're sick of getting bantered. But I tell you something now, my social media has been spammed with Van Dijk bending over. Oh, doing that little bit, trying to save that Caicedo shot. Jesus. Anyway, we're not here to hate on Liverpool. We just hate him anyway. But yeah, so yeah, the conversation I wanted to kind of aim it around Bruno, and I think I'm not going to try and sit on the fence here. I think that Bruno, it would have been more beneficial for us in this period in United's history, in current history, and current presence, to possibly have, taken the money for Bruno and gotten ourselves an Adam Wharton or something, or an Anderson, which I think Newcastle will end up taking him back by the looks of things. But then again, Bruno has been such a great player for us for such a long period of time. I'm kind of grateful to have him at the club. And I go by the fact that very much like he is our best captain. I just don't think he is the best captain that we could or should have. It's just the best that we've got. I'm very much along those lines with Bruno Fernandes, but I kind of feel bad when I slate Bruno Fernandes because the guy's never injured. He constantly tries, but I almost think it reminds me a bit like Arsenal with the Aubameyang and the Ozils. You know, it's kind of like the last of the breed. I feel like to really reset the club and, you know, the spine of the team, which is so important. You look at like Arsenal, you know, they've got such a strong spine, and you know, they all kind of do their job. And Bruno is fantastic at those Hollywood passes, and you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, that quick counter-attacking football. We love to see it. You know, when you see Rashford making a run on the left wing, and you got Bruno to ping that ball perfect. That's lovely. But when you're trying to build up with possession with two in midfield and keep a very strict role in the centre of the pitch, Bruno is just not your guy, and he shouldn't be. You don't have to expect him to be that. You know what I mean? But it's also at the same time, you know, my stance on Ruben Amorim playing him in the midfield. You know, you can try and debate with yourself and be like, you can try and justify it. But at the same time, you're like, mate, just take him out of midfield. Yeah, just take him out of midfield. Stop it, you know. Just put him in a 10. I know he's undisciplined and he'll probably run out as a 10, but you want Bruno closer to the goal. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember the FA Cup final when he passed that ball to Mainu? That's what you can get with Bruno up there. He can just see as much as he does those Hollywood balls, he also does those really nice sneaky passes that people don't see. He's quite aware. He's brilliant at that. So you want him up the pitch closer. So maybe part of me going, I wish we should have took the money for Bruno, is also the same part of the fact that the manager's not playing him in his correct position. So you're kind of on a double-edged sword there, guys, aren't you? But I just want to say a big thank you as well. I've got like 6 new subscribers overnight. I mean, that's pretty fucking spectacular, if you ask me. As you can see in the background, that plaque is for my other channel. The backdrop is for my other channel. But I am putting a lot of, I built one channel up to 188,000 subscribers. I'm sure we can build this one up too. You know what I mean? Got the top. I'll have to get some, I'll make some merch for this channel a bit further down in the future. But yeah, I want to know your opinions, guys. Would you have kept or sold Bruno? Or should I say, would you have kept Bruno or taken the money? You should have taken the money, pal. So yeah, thank you guys. Anyway, I'll see you. I'm gonna keep. I'm enjoying this channel. Thank you to the new subscribers who have joined. I'm enjoying this channel. It's fun. I can't wait to start getting on match previews, game day. We've got the international break. Yawn. But don't worry, guys. We're going to keep the content. I'm sorry if there's a little bit of jittery, like a few seconds latency delay. I'm not too sure. I've been trying to fix it, but I can't seem to get the hang of it. It didn't do it before. It just started doing it, and I didn't change any of the settings. So we're trying to have to fix that. But yeah, thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next video. It's your boy, Cads. For more football stuff, tune in tomorrow.